And welcome to the Midday Show. I'm Jeff Everett. He is Mark Messina. It's finally here. It's the actual first day of the 12 days of giveaways here at NorthcentralPa.com. You can see the wheel. It's shining. It's bright. I love the shade of green we got going on the wheel. How about you?
And you know why we picked that shade of green?
Why?
Because in the rainbow of colors of paper that we had, that was the shade of green.
That was the shade of green. I'm loving it though. It's a neon
it
Christmas.
Is.
I call it neon Christmas green.
Oh no, I would say it's more olive-ish.
Oh, olives are a little darker. I get where you're going.
It's not quite dark enough to be olive. I hate green olives. I love black olives. Is that an odd combination? What's your olive thoughts?
I don't love olives. See what I did there? I don't love olives. Not a fan of them.
I don't get it. What did you do there?
You never heard like all of you? Like olives?
Oh, no.
I don't love
never
olives.
Heard that.
No.
I thought you were going with an olive oil thing from like Popeye, and I didn't.
No, nothing like that.
I thought there was a reach I was missing.
So we have our pods for winners. We took everybody who liked the show yesterday. We took everybody who commented the show yesterday. And we took everybody who liked the show. We're going to jumble them up. We're going to pop it up on the screen who our winners are today here in a little bit. But before we get to that, make sure you answer the question below for today's show. What makes a good holiday movie or show? And what are your favorites? Mark and I are going to break some down. We're going to take comments, and we're going to really dive into the idea of a holiday movie or show. But before any of that, Mark, how are you feeling today?
Mark is a little frazzled today.
Well, okay.
It is a frazzly time of year. And now I'm thinking, how about like the original Gatorade? Or is it not? Are we not that color?
No, not quite that color.
Yeah, it's a little more pastelish. I don't know. There's just a lot going on in the world right now. You know, it's just a busy time. It's a hectic time.
Sure.
And but you know, all things considered, things are good. I've sweated through my booster the other day. My back doesn't hurt anymore. So all these ailments I'm getting rid of in time for the holiday season. And
sure.
Yeah. How about you? How are you doing?
I'm holding up. It's funny. I feel like for most people, this time of year, people gain time. Like time becomes available. We've talked about it before. It gets darker sooner, everything else. Because of just the way my life is set up, and you're diving into this too, coaching, basketball season starts up, the ball rolls faster for me during the winter than it does during like spring, summer, and fall. So now is by far the busiest time of year for me.
It is now consistently my day stops at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
No matter what, because if we practice early, then I have more work to do after. If we practice late, then I've worked up to practice. And so it is. I would agree with that. The days are shorter in all aspects of it.
Yes.
Because once you're done and it's like, what time is it? Oh my gosh, it's 9:30 already. And I have uniforms sprawled all over my basement floor.
I'm also somebody who, it doesn't bother me so much that it gets darker at the end of the day. It's more so how long it takes to get bright in the morning. Like sunrise right now is like 7:20.
Yeah, that is weird.
So that part, I actually struggle more with that than the other side of it, which I feel like most people don't talk about that side of it.
I just can't believe that. And before I would be remiss if I didn't mention it. Steelers go tonight. Makes an interesting Thursday night football game. If they'd have lost the other day, if Andrews pulls in that 2-point conversion, then there would be nobody watching, and now all of a sudden there's new life in Pittsburgh. So where they're at Minnesota just lost to Detroit. So it'll make for interesting Thursday night football. But we're 2 weeks away from Christmas, and it doesn't seem we just had Thanksgiving.
Doesn't feel like it. We haven't really had a ton of white yet. I think that makes a difference.
It's going to be 64 on Sunday.
I know. Yeah. So I think that makes a big difference in kind of the perspective and change. I was going to say it's a big difference from last year, but according to you, it's like we never got a snowstorm.
Did we have last year?
That part blows my mind that you don't remember any of that at all. Like there was 2 feet of snow on the ground and you act like it never happened.
I'll tell you what's funny, and I'll mention this. And my daughter has a Christmas chorus concert coming up here.
Okay.
Because my son is not in the chorus. This will be my last Christmas chorus. This will be my last school Christmas chorus concert.
Okay.
I'm not going to say that I'm going to miss those.
Okay.
Our news director, Carrie Pauling, they just had one at the middle school, I think yesterday, her son was in the chorus
Okay.
or whatever. And here, have we ever discussed Christmas chorus concerts?
No, we have not.
I've never understood this.
Okay.
And, you know, they're packed, especially the lower grades, because the younger you are, everyone's in the chorus. You get to high school, it's different.
Sure.
They sing 9 Christmas songs.
Mm-hmm.
We know 2 of them. Like, this would be like a rock band showing up. Yeah. This is like Guns N' Roses showing up, playing 9 songs and 2 of their hits.
So you're telling me they're not singing Feliz Navidad?
They might. That might be one of the 2.
That might be one of the 2.
They'll do one. Like, if this is my advice to all, and I understand they do them in foreign languages. They do them in, you know, my kids, when they were in the show, they always did a song with like no words. Okay. It was like sounds and, you know, clicks and all this stuff and whatever. But like, I don't want to go hear my kids sing in German. Like, it just doesn't do it for me.
Okay.
Unless it's 99 Luftballons and they don't sing that at Christmas.
So the devil's advocate of this, can you really, like, it must be hard to do gospel at that age level and have it sound somewhat decent.
There are so many.
So doesn't that cut like half of your set list right there?
I mean, maybe. And I'm not even talking about the church. There are so many Christmas songs that you can do.
If there's any music teachers, give us a reason why that is. Why do we not hit kind of more songs we know at these kiddie Christmas concerts?
I remember, and what the highest point of my life was they used to do when my girls were in the middle school. The 5th and 6th graders went, and then the 7th and 8th graders went.
Real quick, Heather brings up a really good point. If all the audience members know all the songs, then it wouldn't be a chorus concert. It would be a sing-along, and no chorus member wants that. I don't know, though, at that
Okay,
age,
well, let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Doesn't the same thing happen at rock concerts? And don't the chorus members want people in the audience?
Yes. I think they want people, but it's different because I think who it's for is different.
That's fair.
A rock show is for the audience, whereas the chorus concert may be for the person in the concert more so. Did that make sense?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I went to one. Well, there were 2 years back to back where I got to sit through the 5th and 6th grade and then the 7th and 8th grade because what age group my daughters were. And I remember sitting next to my oldest daughter. My youngest daughter was on the stage, and the second song, the girl, the director turned around and said, "And our next tune is a Russian folk song." And I leaned over to my oldest daughter. I said, "Nothing says Merry Christmas like a Russian folk song. Like, what are we doing?"
Don't they? Is that Krampus? Which one is Krampus?
It's not.
Is that German? I forget which one it is. Krampus is one of them. Krampus is one of the old like folk ones. I'm serious.
Yes.
If you want to go down a really good YouTube hole, you can search like Christmas concerts gone wrong, and some of them are fantastic.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like kids losing their mind, awful voices. There's a great clip that's going around right now. A trumpet gives like a solo. I think it's for Jingle Bells. And so at the beginning, it's just this one, 6th grade trumpet player like playing. And then when the rest of the band joins in, it sounds like the first comments like this director should lose his job because it's just an orchestra of sounds
of noise
that don't blend and don't go together. So if you're bored this Christmas holidays and you want a good laugh, like failed Christmas concerts is a great YouTube hole to go down.
But seriously, and and I know music teachers know more than I do, but for an audience member who's not a music teacher, like open the show with a crowd pleaser.
Yeah.
Get the crowd. I don't care if it's Santa Claus is coming to town. I saw Mama kissing Santa Claus. Run, Run, Rudolph. One of those.
Lisa, which one's your favorite? Like if you had to go to these concerts and they would sing one, what is the song? Lisa asked a good question.
My favorite Oh Holy Night is a great song. If you're talking like a churchy song.
See, I think that's tough. Like, I guess the songs you and I would like, I think they would be tough for like a middle school concert to really like pull off.
I guess my favorite Christmas song, like radio Christmas song, is "Christmas Is a Time to Say I Love You" by Billy Squier.
Okay.
Now you don't even know it probably. If I played it for you, you've heard it.
Yeah.
It's from the early '80s, MTV, Billy Squier, but it is awesome. But it's fun and it's upbeat and it's uplifting and
right.
I don't know. So if you're doing 9 songs, I'll give you this. Every other one should be, all the odd ones should be, the crowd should know. Because there's other ones, there's Christmas songs we don't like that are very popular.
Yeah.
So it's not like everyone's going to be a gem, but at least give them something they know.
I get it. I would tell you as a parent to suck it up.
I did.
This is not about you.
I did. I have for years. This is my last one.
I believe that. Before we dive into what makes a good holiday movie or show and what are your favorites, lots of awesome comments here I'm seeing. We're going to dive through some of these. But before we do that, let's do some winners. Let's recap really quick. In order to win today, on yesterday's show, you had to like it, you had to comment, and you had to share it. You could do one or all 3. Obviously, if you do all 3, which we had people who did, your odds, your chances get boosted significantly.
Now, we understand if you don't want to share it, because then you're admitting that you watched it and you kind of enjoy it. So that you might take some social ribbing for that, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's the one right now. That's the avenue to go, though. That's your best.
The path of least resistance, right there.
Yes, the path of least resistance is sharing the video. So just something to think about as you're joining us today. So we're going to do this for 12 days. Today is the first day that we're actually going to have some winners. We're actually going to give some prizes away. Mark, we were filling up the board. It looks fantastic. Do you want to just give us like a 30-second rundown of some of the things that we can expect on the board?
Yes, and before we do that, I want to, for full disclosure, if you could have seen the pregame show, I didn't necessarily break the board, but we had a problem with the board, with the wheel because of me. And if it would have been up to me a half hour before the show, I'd have said, we're drawing them out of a hat or something. I don't know what we're going to do, but the wheel ain't working today.
Okay.
And then Jeff grabbed his construction paper and his scissors, and all of a sudden everything is fixed. So the only reason the wheel is here today is because Jeff was a little more ambitious than
I put that secondary ed degree to work today.
And I was like, this was like, I think we have a problem over here. So anyway, we have some old sponsors, some new sponsors. As we go around, I think all of the ones on here are, do we have a break room? And I take that. I think the break room is a $40 gift card. I think every other one is the break room. I think every other one is a $25 gift card. We've got them from old favorites like the Moon and Raven and Eat and Run Catering and Restaurant that was with us last year. Fresh Life was with us last year. This year we have some new ones. The CBD store is on here. Tony's Deli is all over the place. We also have Williamsport Moving Company, and you're like, well, I don't want to win that. I'm going to move. They got a gift certificate to a local restaurant. So you will be happy if you get that. Did I bang all the ones that are on the board? Oh, Chaos Fun Zone. We have Chaos Fun Zone, $25 gift cards there. We have a couple more that are coming, but we couldn't fit them in the wheel today because they just didn't fit. So they will be on tomorrow. And so we got some old, some new, some borrowed, some blue. Do you know what that's from?
No, what's that from?
Wedding. And the bride's supposed to have something old, new, borrowed, and blue. See, you haven't gone down that path yet.
I haven't.
All you know is you're going to be, and she's going to be sobbing.
Maybe I'll do it. Maybe it'll be a Christmas wedding. Like a holiday
You're
wedding.
running out of time, dude.
I have a cousin who did a holiday wedding. I want to say it was like the 21st, 22nd of December, and it was in old historic downtown Bethlehem, which if you've never been there during this time of year in Pennsylvania,
I was going to say, I thought you meant like where Jesus was born, Bethlehem.
So if
they had it in the manger?
Yeah. So if you go to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania this time of year, gorgeous. Like
really?
Because it's all the old brick, the original buildings, everything else, wreaths, lights, the gas lights, you feel like it's like you're in a Dickens tale. Like it is.
Bethlehem is way over on the Jersey state line, isn't it? Or am I wrong?
Not quite that far. It's more Lehigh Valley.
Okay.
More Lehigh Valley, outside of Allentown, more that area.
Is Stroudsburg right on the state line?
Yeah, Stroudsburg's like at the end of Route 8.
So Bethlehem's Lehigh Valley.
Yep.
I did not know that. Isn't Mario Andretti from Bethlehem?
I don't know.
I think he is. If anyone knows that, I think.
But for the people who like to go to Wellsboro for like Dickens Christmas or if you're one of those people, Bethlehem, PA, this time of year, like you will not regret.
So like a holiday day trip is Bethlehem.
It is. It's pretty amazing. So anyway, she got married.
I didn't know. I never heard that before.
Yeah, it was like absolutely beautiful. Beautiful.
Huh.
Yep, really neat. I will leave it up to you. We have a winner who liked it yesterday. We're gonna have a winner who commented yesterday. We're gonna have a winner who shared yesterday. Which one would you like to do first?
We'll start out with the easy one.
Okay.
So we'll go with who shared it because they were both the boldest.
Those are your best one. You're by far the boldest.
They were the boldest because they had to admit that they watched the show.
Yes.
But as we said, path of least resistance. So who was the sharer?
All right. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna spin this, and our winner today, who shared yesterday's video, is going to be Josie Howard.
You know, Josie is on a vacation far away.
Spin the wheel.
Everyone my age, when they heard the name Josie, that's what you know.
That's where they went to. I don't. No. You keep giving me references today I can't work with. Here we go. Wow, that is fancy.
I like it. You did well. You did well. The CBD store.
Ooh, Josie.
There we go.
Josie.
Josie just either made a friend or is feeling better about herself immediately. Now, so here's the question.
Yes.
I don't want to take it out because then there'll be a blank spot. So I'm just going to spin it again.
That's up to you. Your call.
That's what we're going to
do.
All right. So Josie, did you write that down?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We've got it all right here. Here's the crazy part. You know how they give the warnings for like people who might suffer from like flashing lights?
Yeah.
What is that called at the beginning?
Oh,
beginning of like movies and shows.
Stuff?
Yeah, for like strobes and stuff. That is very close.
You think?
Very, very
Is there any chance people are at work right now and they're
hypnotized from it?
They're just staring at their screen.
It was way more, I don't even know the word I'm looking for.
Psychedelic?
It was way more visual psychedelic than what I expected.
There we go.
It's that neon Christmas screen on.
So, like tomorrow when I come in here in the morning, you're just going to have the lights out and just be spinning the wheel and staring at it?
Congratulations, Josie. We'll be reaching out to you. Next one, like or comment.
You're going to hear that song as soon as the show's over.
I'm okay with that.
Let's go to the comments.
Comments. Okay, we're going to do comments next. Here we go. We're going to spin it. We're going to see what gets spit out. Our comment winner for today is Mary McCoy. Mary McCoy.
There we go.
There we go. She's baking cookies.
Anyone whose initials are MM has to be like top of the food chain, don't you think?
There is some irony. Yesterday, she said she was going to bake over 1,000 cookies, and her initials are
Oh, I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah,
it was 3,600 cookies, by the way, which I think she's lying.
You think so? I don't think so.
I want to see all 3,600.
Maybe she'll take a picture for us. Congratulations, Mary. Mary's a good holiday name too.
Absolutely.
Christmas spirit. Here we go.
Yeah, I have my ex's best friend's mom.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the name they had picked out.
Yeah.
But she ended up being born on Christmas Day.
Okay.
So they're like, her name is Mary.
Oh.
So they scrapped whatever they had.
Very fitting.
Anyway, there we go.
Fitting. Here we go.
By the way, if Mary needs us to sample any of her cookies, that is cool.
We can help out.
Tony's Deli. She likes the kitchen. She likes Tony's Deli.
That's a good one. All right.
Congratulations to Mary.
Yes. And then last one, our like winner. This was the path of most resistance, as you like to say.
This should be these people should get something really, really good because they like us.
Just the odds. They do like us. There were some people who loved, like they gave the heart or they gave the hug. And now I'm beginning to wonder, like, do we up the ante and do we say like you have to love the show?
They should love the show. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
What's not to love?
There's so much to love. All right. So out of everybody who liked and loved the show yesterday, and that does include the hug emoji. I can't believe I'm saying that. Does include the hug emoji. Here we go. We're going to spin it, and we are going to post it. The winner for the like is Carol Young.
Instead of liking the show, you have to hug the show.
You have to hug the show. You have to hug the show.
All right.
So by the way, another great Christmas name, Carol. There you go. It's happening. I may or may not know Carol. So it's a good Christmas name.
If the first one would have been Santa, if we would have gone from Santa to Mary to Carol, then I would have thought.
You don't think Josie's a holiday name?
No, she's on a vacation far away.
Before she's going to stop at the CBD store before.
Call her in and talk it over.
She's going to stop.
There's
at the CBD
so many
store.
things that I want to say.
Let's see where Carol's going. Oh, What do we got?
That is the Moon and Raven.
That's a good one. It's a good one. Sounds like a trip to Wayne Sports in line for Carol Young.
So there we go. Write all those
right.
down. Did you write down what they won? Or am I supposed to?
We've got it. So we'll be reaching out to Josie, Mary, and Carol.
You know what we've got it means? He means after the show, we'll just rewind it and watch it again.
Yeah, there's a little bit of truth to that. I'm not going to lie. So today's topic, well, let's review real quick because I want to make sure everyone listening still knows. In order to win, you can like the show, you can comment on the show, or you can share the show. You can do one, or you can do
or you can hug the show, or you can love the show. And you're on your honor. If you watch this and like those you two are idiots, then don't like the show because you don't like it.
Yeah. So that's your chances to win. If you do it on today's show, tomorrow you will be in the drawing.
You'll be in the hopper.
Yes. You get to be, I click the button, it spins, it spits out a name to me, and then we post it as well. So that is your opportunity to win by liking, sharing, or commenting on today's show. Lots of comments. We're going to go through some of this. I have kind of a list here of stuff, and then we're going to dive in and talk about the things that people posted. Because some of them are surprising, like favorite Christmas movies. What makes a good holiday movie or show? I have some concepts down here, but is there anything off the top of your head? I'm putting you on the spot. Is there anything that like resonates with you of what makes it a good Christmas or holiday show?
Snow.
Okay, that's all you need.
No, because Die Hard doesn't have any because it's in Southern California. But generally speaking, it's
certainly a visual genre.
Yes,
I'll give you that.
In that hunkered down, it's one of the reasons why you don't watch Christmas Vacation in June. And there's all these shows when it's snowing. You can watch a warm weather movie in the winter, but you can't watch it's snowing movie in the summer. It just doesn't work.
I do agree. There is a little bit of juxtaposition there, right? Where you're seeing one thing, but you just don't feel it.
Right.
I totally agree with that. Here are some concepts for you. I'm curious. These are the things that I enjoy in a Christmas movie, like themes that go along with it.
Number one, it has to be on the Hallmark Channel. That's the first thing on your list.
Well, you failed because you should have said Ryan Reynolds has to be.
Oh, sorry.
I thought that's what you were going to say.
No.
All right. So here's some concepts. I am a sucker for the going home, returning home for Christmas. I am a sucker for that. If you are,
that's the Ryan Reynolds movie.
It's a lot of them, but yes, the Just Friends movie. He returns home. He kind of lost weight. He's this new guy, but everyone remembers him for who he was. There's a lot of aspects. There's the seeing the old fling. There is the trying to see the family you haven't seen in months. The whole aspect of just returning home after you've been away, if that is somehow ingrained into your Christmas movie, I'm like 1,000% in.
Do you know one of the ones I love, and I don't even know if it counts a Christmas movie, but it's a winter movie, and it's called Beautiful Girls. Have you ever seen Beautiful Girls?
I don't think so.
It is Natalie Portman's a little kid.
Okay.
She plays the neighbor. Oh my gosh. Matt Dillon?
Matt Dillon?
He has a brother.
Kevin? I don't know, but there is a Matt Dillon.
I think it's Matt Dillon.
Okay.
I can see it is.
Is this a return home?
It is a one guy. I think he's a piano player.
Okay.
But he's a musician, and he has gone off. He's left his small town, which is central Pennsylvania.
Yep.
He's gone off to the big city, and he's back to see his friends, who are a lot of the guys who are still in town are still hanging out with the same people, going to the old places.
Yep.
And his trying to fit in doesn't fit in. They're on different worlds, and I love it. It is such a good movie.
So you're in on the going home.
I love it. I love it.
The best scenes are returning to the bar, the hometown bar before the holiday.
Yes.
and you're seeing all the old, those scenes are fantastic. This is kind of a minor one, but we don't get to see it a lot. Ski scenes or sledding scenes are always hilarious. Like the physical comedy of what happens when someone tries to ski or when someone's trying to sled. And I like the physical comedy of those because you really only get those in Christmas movies.
Or Hot Tub Time Machine.
Or Hot Tub Time Machine, yes. But you just don't find those types of physical comedy.
I would think, I would suspect just because it's so hard to film.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
A ski scene, it would be tough.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, the greatest ski movie of all time is Hot Dog, the movie. If you've never seen it, find that one. That is good.
Okay, so this one's kind of cheating. Nostalgic Christmas, right? So anything, it's kind of like kid Christmas, anything that makes you feel like a kid again, right? That idea of the amazement of Christmas morning.
Yep. I'm good.
So nostalgic Christmas. Everything Goes Wrong Christmas is you can't go like, Home Alone, Christmas Vacation. There's.
I just watched Jingle All the Way.
There you go.
With
Yes,
Schwarzenegger.
That's a perfect example of the everything goes wrong Christmas. Those work on a level because I think there's a joy to Christmas, but anybody who's been a parent or has had to plan for Christmas knows there's a fret to the holiday as well.
Speaking of that, have you seen the commercial? I want to say it's Target, but don't quote me on that.
Okay.
Where the guy's going to his mom's house and they drop off the package on her porch and he goes up and scoops it into a bag and she opens the door and he hands it to her. Have you seen that? It's awesome.
That's pretty great. And then the last one I have here, like redeemable Christmas. So this is It's a Wonderful Life, where, the person is down on their luck. The person is trying to redeem themselves. And through the grace of the holiday, finds the answer or finds themselves again. So those are
Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation.
He figures out that life, it's not about a Christmas bonus. It's about the Jelly of the Month Club.
Yes. So I think what great Christmas movies, minus like the ski scenes, like the physical comedy aspect of it, I think what great movies is they kind of all mesh those together, right? There's the going home, there's the redeemable Christmas, it's nostalgic, and there's this idea of like not everything is going the way you want it to go. I think those, like you could argue Christmas Vacation is all four of those in a way.
Yes.
Yeah, and so I think the best Christmas movies kind of figure out how to mesh those together.
I think that one of the things about it too is, there's a simplicity to it. I want to say
to Christmas Vacation.
No, to Christmas movies. Like when people watch the Hallmark Channel, they're not looking for Citizen Kane. They're looking for something soft and sweet and comfortable. Sure. So it doesn't have to be. What is the one where Hugh Grant plays the prime minister?
It's not. Is it Love Actually? I think it might be. It might be that. I think it's Love Actually.
Like there are those. We talked about Serendipity last year. I love the movie Serendipity.
Yep.
Because it's got that simple Christmas. But yes, there's a
spirit that, especially in romantic ones, there is a spirit that can just kind of lead you through the movie. There's a simplicity of like, this is the spirit, this is what we're following, this is where we're ending on.
Yes, the audience isn't supposed to stand up and cheer. Correct. They're not supposed to be. The reaction of the audience is supposed to be, "Aw," and as long as you get that, then you've done what you meant to be.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Any other things that make a holiday movie or show great before we dive into some of these comments and choices?
I think
that was kind of my short list.
That's a very good list that you did. You the nostalgia, the going home one is awesome. I love that one too. I think one of the beauties of these holiday movies is they don't run Christmas Vacation in July. Sure. You don't stumble across it. So we've all seen it.
Right.
But I haven't seen it since last year. And I laugh again when I see it, even though I've seen it, 25 times. Yeah. So all these movies, as they come back around, it still has that. It's the great song that you haven't heard in a year.
Sure.
Even though when you've heard it a million times, I haven't heard it in a year. God, this song is really good. And it kind of reminds you of it. Yeah, so I that's part of it.
So here's some interesting. So Julie says she's all in on the comedy. I will say comedies around Christmas, I don't know if it's to me, I would imagine writing a script involving a family coming together lends itself to comedy. I'm assuming.
What's the movie where isn't Vince Vaughn, is it called Four Christmases? Mm-hmm. I like that one.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
Yes.
That's good. The same, like, aren't both their parents divorced? Isn't that the issue?
I just remember like the family is segmented down to a point where they have to attend so many.
And he shows, I just remember his brothers are these like drunken idiots. Yes. They just beat the crap out of each other.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway.
Eric has Bad Santa 2, and Christmas Vacation. I enjoy the Bad Santas. I don't enjoy them as much as other people do.
I don't think I've ever seen Bad Santa 2.
You've never. So it is definitely, you have to see it one time. You have to see it one time if you haven't watched
Bad Santa,
it. Good choices. Hey guys, here's my comment for my chance to win the giveaway. Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate it. That was good. Heather, I like holiday movies that are heartwarming and funny. Favorites are Elf, Christmas Vacation, A Christmas Story, and It's a Wonderful Life. We're going to probably talk about Christmas Vacation, A Christmas Story, and It's a Wonderful Life. Elf is interesting to me, and I want to dive into it because other people said the other 3 movies. Elf is interesting to me. There are people who adore Elf. Like, it's their favorite. And I have people in my life that are very anti-Elf.
I think it's the most overrated of the Christmas
movies. Okay, so you're one of them.
I don't hate it.
Okay, but you're not. It's not one of. You're not dying to watch it every.
I won't watch it.
Season.
I won't watch it again.
Okay,
like,
is it a Will Ferrell thing, or are you just the movie in general?
No, because Anchorman's pretty funny. Okay. Frank the Tank is pretty funny. Like, I don't know. It's just.
I think it's so original, and and again, I'm a Will Ferrell fan, but it was so original and so different from anything else that had been done.
I mean, I'll give it that. I don't understand how people say Elf is my favorite Christmas movie. I don't get it. And just to say, I don't mean to point this out, Heather never saw It's a Wonderful Life till like 2 years ago. So this whole thing, like, it's her favorite. It has not been a long favorite.
Thomas says A Walton's Thanksgiving. Have you seen A Walton's Thanksgiving?
Is it a movie? Was it made
it's a
for
good
TV
question.
movie?
I would assume it's related to, because The Waltons was a television show, correct?
I used to watch The Waltons.
Okay. See, The Waltons, so when I go back into like the history of TV and television stuff, The Waltons is something I've never dove into.
Yeah.
Like the Nick at Night stuff and things like that. Like, I've never come across The Waltons.
There was a scandal back in the day. The thing of the show, like when Tattoo used to yell, the plane, sure. The thing of the Waltons is they used to, good night, Mary Ellen, good night, Jim Boy. That's how the show ended. Everyone wished.
I remember that.
One of the sisters, and I have to think of, it wasn't Aaron. I think it was Mary Ellen, posed for Playboy while she was a Walton. And this is like the wholesome, and so many child actresses, especially women, go through this. Like, she's like, the Waltons are so pure and so wholesome, and her like, I'm going to break out and show that I'm something. But it was a big deal when it happened. I don't know. They might have written her off the show after that.
I'd never heard of that before.
Yep.
Thank you for that history. Christmas Story. I think Christmas Story, I want to hear your opinion on it.
Shoot your eye out.
I think Christmas Story is a fantastic movie. I think cable has absolutely ruined the nostalgia around it. I think it's so overplayed to the point where now it almost has saturated the enjoyment out of it.
Yeah.
TBS ruined Christmas.
Did they just run it back to back? Like,
back to back. I think it's just 24 hours.
On a 24-hour loop?
Yes.
Yeah.
I get it. Like, you got to do something on Christmas. Like, I'm not knocking TBS, but all I'm like, you can only see it. I don't know. It has diminished for me because of cable.
Well, I'll tell you what's crazy about it is it got to the point, like, I own it now on DVD because it got to the point that, like, I'd stumble across it so many times. You never actually sat down to watch it.
Okay.
You saw 20 minutes of it here. You saw 10 minutes. Oh, guess what scene's coming up next? And you stay and you watch that next scene and then you go. Right. But to actually sit down and watch it beginning to end, I never did it. So one time I saw it, it was used and it was cheap. And I was like, because now this way I can sit down and watch it when I want to. Okay. And this, I don't know, it's probably on Netflix now or something like that. It's probably easier to find.
Yeah.
But I do agree with, yes,
listen, again, it's like, if I sat down and made a list, it's probably in my top 5. Like, I love Christmas.
There's a lot of good.
But, like, they have like every year, it's a little harder to, like, I just don't enjoy it as much every year because it just gets
I hear what you're saying.
Again. They're kind of ruining it. Let's do this. A good holiday movie is one that makes you feel good when you watch it and still reminds us of the reason for the season. My all-time favorite that I watch every year is Charlie Brown Christmas. This is my mom's favorite. Hands down.
It's hard to argue with the Charlie Brown Christmas. I wasn't thinking in that genre.
Yep, by far her favorite. Jesse, the storyline, Elf, National Lampoon's Christmas, agreed. This one is one I've never gotten. Enjoying the Polar Express with your grandkids. Have you watched the Polar Express?
I took my oldest daughter to see the Polar Express when she was young because it was this. She's old enough to go to the movies now. Here's this new Christmas movie.
Did you enjoy it?
I hate the Polar Express.
I don't. Somebody who's listening, comment. Please explain to us the Polar Express. I don't understand. It's fine. It's okay. I don't get the fascination with it.
I mean, you say it's fine. I don't think it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
I don't get the Polar Express.
I neither do I. So anyone who's listening, Lori, if you're still listening, I know she says enjoying it with your grandkids. I mean, maybe that's part of it.
If the grandkids enjoy
it, kids love it, and you
I
like
get that.
Seeing I mean, that aspect I get. But as just a general Christmas movie, I don't.
That is one of the ones that I just never got.
I don't get it. Debbie, I love talk shows around this time. Their Christmas episodes are awesome. Yeah, if you go, my favorite. You and I talk a lot about streaming services, how they change stuff. One of my favorite things that streaming services are doing, especially Apple does a great job of this. They will put all their TV episodes that are Christmas themed in a queue for you. So you can watch the
Friends Christmas.
Yes, and you can go and it's just all the individual Christmas episodes. And I love that. Love that.
That is cool.
Really, really cool. Well done, streaming services. This was about the chorus concert. Hold on. A movie that makes you feel filled with the spirit of Christmas. White Christmas, It's a Wonderful Life, A Christmas in Connecticut. I'm telling my age. Mary, who is one of our winners
Christmas
today.
in Connecticut.
I've heard of A Christmas in Connecticut. So this is my White Christmas story, okay? And I think the movie holds up incredibly well for its age. I can see why people adore White Christmas. It was Thanksgiving time. I was probably 21 or 22. I just become legal to drink. We were in New York City and we were going to see a Broadway show. And when we had left and we were going to see this show, we were sold, I believe we were going to see the School of Rock, if I'm remembering this correctly. We were going to see a different show. And so the whole day we're psyched, like we're going to see the show. We get up to the front and there's a thing for It's a White Christmas. Okay. And I think nothing of it. Like I'm like, oh, later tonight they must be showing It's a White Christmas because we saw like an afternoon matinee thing. We go in and the show starts and it is White Christmas. And my mom and my aunt are like smiling ear to ear. And I was miserable through the entire show. And because I was a brat, like I was 100% being a brat, but also too, like, instead of just telling us like, hey, we were going to see White Christmas, we were sold that we were going to go see this other show. And then we're duped into seeing.
By your family.
Yes.
That is
by
awesome.
Our family. So there's my White Christmas story.
Well, here, I've never seen the movie. And Jerry watches it every year.
Okay.
Jerry, the wizard behind the curtain.
Yep.
And he loves it.
Yep.
And I saw it. My daughter was in a high school production of it.
Okay.
And as I watched it, I was like, this is the dumbest story I've ever seen. And which is an exaggeration because I've seen dumber stories, but I was just like, this is not a great story.
Sure.
And he said, you need to watch Danny Kaye and Bing Crosby. Are those the?
I don't know if it's Bing Crosby, but it's definitely
Danny Kaye.
Danny Kaye.
And he said, like, he just said, just don't say a thing until you see the movie version with Danny Kaye, and I think it's Bing Crosby.
It might be Bing Crosby. I don't remember.
It is so good. I love it, and I watch it every year. I'll tell you another one. Tom Woodruff, who our local Academy Award winner guru, The Bishop's Wife, is one that he loves, and I don't think I've ever seen it.
Is that a Christmas?
And
like it's a holiday movie?
Yes.
Okay.
It's something I don't know, but he said he loves The Bishop's Wife, and that's kind of his go-to.
Okay.
And he's like, it's an older movie. If you've never seen it, go find it. And so anyway, that's one that doesn't get enough run, I guess. But I'm sure there's a crowd that likes it.
Do you have anything you want to say? There's a bunch of Christmas Vacations here, Megan, Heather, and there's more as you go through the list. Anything you want to say about Christmas Vacation?
It's
anything
timeless.
That stays with you?
It is time. I laugh at the same stuff every year.
Every single time.
And like the neighbors, that's one of the great things. Just when you have those neighbors and they're just trying to have this sexy, romantic,
Right.
you know, Julia Louis-Dreyfus in there, and you know, trees are falling through. It's
Sure.
just
Oh yeah, it's great.
That makes me laugh too.
We're not going to dwell on this, but Deanna does say, I totally agree with Mark about the chorus stuff. My husband and I say the same thing. So you are not alone with your Christmas chorus stuff.
Good.
Bob
So
says,
obviously
Christmas.
she does not like the Russian folk songs ringing in the holiday
I'm guessing
season.
not. Merry Christmas, Bob. This is one also for me very much like the Polar Express. I don't really relate to the Miracle on 34th Street.
I remember. And
sorry, Spring.
My love affair with It's a Wonderful Life started in my mid-20s. I think I told that story. I'll tell it whenever. And so I was watching and someone said to me, what about Miracle on 34th Street? And I was like, I probably saw it. I don't even remember it. Oh, you need to watch it. You need to watch it. And I sat down and watched it. And when I was done, I was like, that just bored me for an hour and a half or whatever it was. I don't get it.
No, I don't really understand it either. Spring, you can defend yourself if you're still listening. Amber says It's a Wonderful Life, which I believe is your favorite.
That is my favorite, without a doubt. It is Christmas Eve.
Little tidbit you want to give about it while we're on it?
I think, and this is one of the, well, I'll tell the stupid story here for 30 seconds, just because I had a friend in, when I lived in Baltimore, and he was a theater guy. His family, his mom was a music teacher, and they were big in the theater. Okay. And he called, this was back in the 90s, so he called, you know, what are you doing today? What are you doing? And he said, I'm going to the Senator Theater to watch It's a Wonderful Life. And the Senator Theater was like the Ritz in Montreal. It was one of those single movie house standalone theaters. And he said, I'm going to see it for a quarter. And I was like, why are you doing that? He goes, because they show it every year for a quarter, and it's some fun, you know, whatever. And I was like, no, why? He says, well, because it's a great movie. Haven't you ever seen it? I said, of course I've never seen it. Why would I watch an old black and white movie? And he said, I'm paying your quarter, and you're going, and we're going to go watch it. So the first time I ever saw It's a Wonderful Life was on the big screen in a theater.
Okay.
And I loved it right away. And the thing to me is I don't like old movies because the dialogue drives me nuts.
Sure.
Because I keep saying to myself, people don't talk like that anymore. And it's almost like I want to go back 100 years and say, did you people really, like, this was the dialect you used?
Sure.
Like, do you ever watch an old Western and he's like, did you call me yellow?
Right.
Like yellow? Like that was the insult of the time. So anyway, I think the dialogue is fresh.
Yeah.
I don't think it's dated. I think the story and Jimmy Stewart is just out of this world.
Yeah.
So I think there's lots of things, but the story about it and just you know, that it is a wonderful life.
Yeah. No, I would argue it's your favorite movie.
It ranks.
Yeah.
It's one of my top 5.
When I hear you talk about it, I would argue it might be your favorite movie. Here's one real quick for the kids. Elmo Saves Christmas. I didn't know Elmo had a Christmas movie.
Up there. Elmo Saves Christmas. I did not know.
Elmo has a Christmas
It doesn't
movie.
shock me that Elmo saved Christmas. Elmo's a talented
dude. Do you have a 5-second
dude.
take on Yes, Virginia, There Is a Santa Claus?
Is that a movie?
I'm guessing it's a movie. I've never seen Yes, Virginia, There Is a Santa Claus. If you don't,
you know the history behind it, right?
No.
A girl wrote a letter to someone, the president.
Okay.
A little girl named Virginia wrote a letter to someone. This is the legend.
Okay.
And asked, "Is there really a Santa Claus?"
Okay.
And whoever it was somebody famous.
Okay.
And the response was, "Yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus."
Oh, cute.
So that's where they got the title of the movie.
Interesting. I
think I want to say FDR.
Okay.
But maybe that's just the era. Maybe I'm missing something.
So here's a debate for us real quick. Gremlins, favorite Christmas movie.
You know what? I'll be honest. I haven't seen Gremlins in a long time.
Okay. But you say Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Of course. It's at a Christmas party.
So is Gremlins a Christmas movie?
I haven't seen Gremlins in a long time.
Okay.
Is it set at a Christmas party?
It's not so much a Christmas party. It's set during that time of year. You're in like a toy store for a while, if I'm remembering correctly. There are certainly Christmas holiday aspects to it. It's very similar to the Die Hard argument. I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer.
Is Home Alone a Christmas movie?
Yes.
Why?
Because there's different spiritual elements to Home Alone that revolve around the Christmas spirit.
You don't think there's
Like his
spiritual elements to
conversation-
Die Hard?
Like his conversation in the church. Wait, say that again?
You don't think there's spiritual
No.
elements to Die Hard?
No. Someone did just say, here it is. Joanna said Home Alone is my favorite movie. I just think when you think about like him being in the church and his conversation with the guys, like there's just an extra element there that I think anyone who wants to argue it, I think you have a much better argument for Home Alone than you do for Die Hard or Gremlins. And I'm not saying one is or isn't, but Home Alone would have a much better day in court than the other two would. That would be my argument.
No, you make a valid argument there. I get it.
Someone did say Die Hard for you. There you go. Best Christmas movie ever.
It is. When you talk about the action ones that never get old, if you don't watch, my son has even said, he goes, I'm ready to watch Die Hard again.
It'll be interesting. Home Alone 1 and 2 are in my favorites. Home Alone 2, like we talk a lot about like sequels aren't, as good as the first or else. Home Alone 2 is vastly underrated in my opinion.
I was just thinking, I'm trying to think the last time I saw Home Alone.
It's not bad. Home Alone number 2 is not bad. Obviously, it's not the first, but it's not that bad. Catherine said White Christmas as well. Bill, I think, said Love Actually, but I think he might have been answering your question when you were talking about.
I like Love Actually. It is one of those corny, because it shows the.
It's fine.
Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen Love Actually. It's fine.
Just all there. I think it shows a real world element of love.
Mm-hmm.
Of that, it's not when you walk in the door. It's not all sunshine and angels singing and oh my God, I couldn't wait to see you. And
I forget who I was having this conversation with, but there are certain words that we define, and just the definition is not the same for everybody.
Correct.
And love is one of those words, and this movie does a nice job of showing that.
Well, and I think too that society has painted when you're a kid, like you're going to grow up and this is how life is supposed to be.
Right.
And the funny thing is that our parents were lying to us the whole time because their life wasn't what they were telling us ours was going to be.
Sure.
So
no, I get it. It's nice. Home Alone for sure, but I'm watching The Santa Claus right now.
Tim Allen.
Yes, I think it's underrated.
I would agree with that.
I think that's a much better movie than it probably gets props for throughout the season.
And I think Tim Allen is a talented guy. I think he, I think comedy just comes naturally to him. I think he plays it well.
Yeah. Let's see. The Polar Express is frightening in some aspects, even as an adult. Those characters are creepy. I don't want to get off of the Christmas movie, but I think you'll find this interesting. There was a study done about when you make characters seem too real, but they're not real enough. Our brains actually interpret that and we see them as like frauds. And so in some of these movies now, like Pixar makes and the graphics and everything else, whenever we see something and it doesn't feel quite right, that's what it is. It's our brain saying, this looks too real, but it's not.
But it's not real. You can't trick me.
Correct. And so I think The Polar Express is a very good example of that, of subconsciously, like you see this and it looks realer than it should, but your brain's telling you something's off. I really believe there's something to that. Really do. Mm-hmm. They're doing studies about it now, though. They were saying that with Avatar. They had to actually go back and redo some stuff with Avatar because they kind of crossed the threshold too far. And yeah, it's really, really interesting stuff. It was Bing Crosby. Good call. Danny Kaye and Bing Crosby for White Christmas.
I've never even seen it.
Yes.
But and it's one I should give it a shot because I can imagine.
If you've never watched it before, it's worthwhile. It is. It's a classic. Yeah.
Is it worthwhile on Broadway?
I was too miserable to tell you yes or no. It could have been.
You're saying you didn't give it a fair shake?
It could have been the greatest rendition of White Christmas ever, and it was wasted on me because I was too upset at the fact that I wasn't told that that's what I was going to.
That is
so.
Funny.
I don't even want to tell you. Christmas Story is the GOAT. Most quotable, most memorable scenarios, and perfect cast. I think it's in my top 5. I'm just afraid it's getting.
No, is it the song that got overplayed? That's what you're saying. And there's.
Miracle on 34th is about believing. I think that's a good point. I guess when's the last time you've seen Miracle on 34th Street? Has it been a while?
It's been a while.
Okay. There is something about Miracle on 34th Street where I'm all for suspension of disbelief. right?
Mhm.
I'm all for, I think most movie watchers agree you have to at certain points, right?
Absolutely.
There's something about this where I just can't do it. I just can't get past the idea of, spoiler alert for any kids that love to follow along with the Midday show. I know he's not real. I understand that there's people doing this for the purpose of the girl. Like, I understand all those aspects. I just can't relate to it. So for me personally, it just doesn't work.
Yeah, I never loved it either. I don't know. I didn't love it the last time when I saw it. I just remember.
I mean, this is another part too. I was never somebody who was really seeking to find out if Santa was real or not. Somebody in my life, I remember someone at school told me Santa wasn't real. I came home, I cried. My parents said, correct, there isn't a Santa. And that was the end of it. It was never like this long, drawn out, like search for the truth. And so that also is a disconnect for me with this movie.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Santa because I'm sure we have 5-year-olds who watch every day.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
Gotta be Christmas Vacation, Crappers Full. That's
whoa! It's not Crappers. It's not Crappers.
Well, no, correct.
That's not the line. Cousin Eddie is so good. The whole family, and the grandparents that come, or it's Aunt. Is it Aunt Edna? What's her name?
Yes.
The squirrel in the tree.
Great. So here's proof of my story. So my cousin says, I believe we were promised Young Frankenstein on that New York City trip. So that's what it was. And then when we showed up, it was White Christmas. It was, and listen, the day was, my mom and Ann are awesome. We did we went to Taverns on the Green, which is it was a day, right? Like awesome day, fantastic. They just, for whatever reason, they just didn't tell us we were going to White Christmas. So we got in this, I think we took a limo to NYC. Like, it was fantastic. And we were pumped. Like, we were going to go see Young Frankenstein and and that's one of my favorite movies of all time. And then we got there and it was a White Christmas.
I can't imagine why any two middle-aged women going to New York City would want to drag any 20-something-year-old boys, because you would ruin it anyway. I mean, maybe they thought they are going to have ruined all of our fun already, so now we're going to ruin theirs by making them watch, because it would just be, as a 21-year-old hanging around New York City with my mom, I would have been, what word am I looking for? She would have wanted to strangle me.
Maybe. It was an interesting trip. It was an awesome, I remember things. I remember going, I believe we went to either the Lego store or the M&M store in Times Square.
Okay.
So we did Times Square, we went to Taverns on the Green, went to Broadway. It was an awesome trip. I just, that one little thing has just always, I laugh about it every time I think about it. Just the idea that they just wouldn't tell us we weren't going to the show.
That is great. I have greater respect for your mother starting now.
So that is, is there any show that you can think of or movie that we maybe didn't mention or you wish would have been mentioned? Somebody did comment, I didn't share it. My one movie I have to watch every Christmas is a Muppets Christmas.
You said that.
Somebody did comment and say that was one of their favorites.
I never watched it, and it's one of the ones I owned. I bought it for my kids on DVD. Then last year you said, and I was like, I think I own that, and I've never even opened it.
Yeah.
And I watched it last year. It's good.
Yeah. If you're not a Muppets fan, you're not going to like it. There is an idea you have to be into the whole Henson Muppets play.
Yeah, but it's the Ghost of Christmas. The whole brilliance behind Dickens and the Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, and Future. Mm-hmm. It's just such a simple idea that is just perfect. Yeah. And when you have it, I mean, I'm sure when he sat down with someone and explained it in a minute, there's going to be this old rich guy who doesn't get what Christmas is about.
Right.
I'm going to take him back through his life, and he's going to have the Ghost of Christmas Past, Present, and Future. Mm-hmm. In a 25-second explanation, you can hear the genius in it.
Okay.
And the Muppets do great. It is. I watched it last year for the first time.
It's really good.
It is really good.
Gonzo and the Rat. I mean, they are absolutely fantastic in that. Real quick, here is the Rotten Tomatoes. I don't know if you've ever seen this before. This is their top Christmas movie list.
Aha!
Number 1 is It's a Wonderful Life.
Thank you.
Number 2 is Miracle on 34th Street.
Really?
1947. Yep.
What did the
96% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Nah.
Number 3 is Holiday Inn.
What?
That's another Bing Crosby one.
Okay.
I've never actually seen that one though. How the Grinch Stole Christmas.
Oh,
Number 4, which
yes.
no one really said that.
No,
maybe that's more just because it's taken for granted. Like it's more just kind of. Also, too, How the Grinch Stole Christmas, 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
It's short.
It's
then they made the Jim
short.
Carrey movie. I've never seen the Jim Carrey movie. I don't think.
Oh, you have to see it once.
It's good.
I enjoy watching Jim Carrey's take on it.
Okay.
It's obnoxious, it's rambunctious, but it is if you're Jim Carrey, if you like Jim Carrey, it is worth seeing him play the character. Anybody who doesn't like it, I get it. I understand.
Who's the guy was it Boris Kozlov? Who's the guy who sings "You're a Mean One"?
I'm not sure who sings the actual song, but I know the song you're referring.
Yeah, that is
okay. Number 5 is a surprise to me. No one mentioned this. I have a cousin that this might be their favorite movie of all time. It is The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Never saw it.
Okay, pretty good. Tim Burton, obviously. 95% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I have never seen it.
Very cult-like following. I am shocked that nobody commented and said The Nightmare Before Christmas. Because there are people that ride and die by it.
Have you seen it?
Oh yeah, I enjoy it. I'm not like a spooky type of, but I liked it.
Because you hate Halloween.
The other thing, correct. The other thing that's neat about it, I think it doesn't say on here. I think The Nightmare Before Christmas is like an hour long.
Oh, it's short.
It's not like
so it's
this
very,
2
it's
hour.
very palatable.
Yes, like you can put it on. You're done like a little over an hour. Yeah, so pretty good. Some other ones that we didn't mention that are on here. Edward Scissorhands.
It's got the snow.
Christmas movie.
It's got snow. Movie? I don't know.
Something to debate. Another one that's up for debate. Little Women, 1994. It's number 17 on the list.
They just remade it, right?
Winona Ryder, yes. That is, according to Rotten Tomatoes, that is considered a holiday movie.
Why?
I don't know. It just says.
I just saw it. Am I wrong? Didn't they just remake Little Women? I just saw it and I thought it was Little Women.
They did. I think they redid it, but this is the 1994 version. So
yeah, but I just saw this movie within the last couple of years.
You saw the remake, or you saw?
I saw the remake.
Okay,
but I'm guessing it's the same story, and I don't know why it's a holiday story.
Maybe. Christmas Story comes in at number 18, according to Rotten Tomatoes. 89%.
Where's Vacation?
Christmas Vacation, I believe, was number 8.
Okay, so it's top 10.
So it's up there.
Give me real quick, rattle off the top 10.
Elf is number 1. No, you didn't like that?
I didn't like it.
It's a Wonderful Life, number 1. Miracle on 34th Street, number 2. Holiday Inn, number 3. White Christmas, number 4. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, number 5. Nightmare Before Christmas, number 6. Arthur Christmas, which is a new one, that is number 7. But again, it goes by the rating.
Right. That's for kids, right?
Number 8 was Christmas Vacation. Number 9 is called Tokyo Godfathers. Again, that's like a anime, like whatever. So again, like once you get past that, like it starts getting into just these ratings. That
Where's Home Alone?
Tomatoes. Home Alone, 27.
Home Alone is the 27th best Christmas movie? Is Die Hard on the list?
When you get to 26, 26 is Elf, 27 is Home Alone, 28 is Gremlins. So there's kind of a 1, 2, 3 right in that 26, 27, 28 range.
Is Die Hard in there?
I haven't seen it yet. Trading Places.
Oh, yes.
Trading Places is also considered a holiday movie according to Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes, and it should be.
You just talked about it. The Bishop's Wife comes in at number 33.
Okay.
Number 34, you'll get a kick out of this one. Batman Returns, 1992. It's considered a holiday movie. Loaded cast. Do you remember who's in that movie? Michael Keaton, Danny DeVito, Michelle Pfeiffer, Christopher Walken, directed by Tim Burton.
Huh.
Oh, yeah. That one was loaded. Bad Santa, number 35. So then it starts to go back.
All right. Well, real quick then. Yeah. Now I'm confused. If Elf and all those didn't even make the top 20.
Mm-hmm.
What's 11 through 20?
Oh, you're killing me, dude.
Is it not? Is it hard to scroll?
No, you're fine.
Okay.
Some of it's like a slide, some it's not. A Netflix movie called Claws, which have you seen this? It's actually very good. It's just like a new animated take on Santa Claus.
Okay.
Very, very good. It's kind of like an origin story type of vibe to it.
Okay.
Okay. It's about how the mailman and the kids writing letters, and the mailman essentially like created this person to. It's good.
Gotcha.
It's worthwhile. Happiest Season 2020. It's on Hulu.
Yikes.
Edward Scissorhands, Little Women, Christmas Story, Jingle Jangle.
So Christmas Story is like 15.
Yeah. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. This is another one. White Reindeer, The Man Who Invented Christmas. So you start getting into like these newer age where the ratings is just kind of pushing them up. There's not a ton of like nostalgic bonus points at the top.
And what you're saying, so you're saying there's not a lot of good ones between 11 through 20.
What I'm saying is that people who watch some of this stuff, they're watching it for their kids. They're watching it because they're hardcore anime fans. Like there's different things. That's all. So, all right. Anything else before we head out?
That's all I got.
That's all you got. All right. Thank you guys. That was awesome. The comments were great.
Like, comment, share. No. Hug. Comment,
you can hug. You
share.
can hug. You can love the show as well. Any of those will give you an opportunity. Congratulations to Josie, Mary, and Carol. It's going to be hard to top those 3 names tomorrow. For a holiday giveaway to top Josie, Mary, and Carol.
One of these days we're going to have like Manny, Mo, and Jack.
You think so?
You know who they are?
Nope.
The Pep Boys. Manny, Mo, and Jack. You never
Those
saw
were the
that?
Pep Boys?
You did not watch enough television growing up.
I remember the Pep Boys commercials, but I don't remember.
I thought it was Manny, Mo, and Jack. Am I wrong?
I always remember, didn't they have the animated logo and the one guy always had on the circle glasses?
Yes.
Yeah. So I remember that. I don't remember their names.
I'm pretty sure that's it. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Huh. Interesting. So thank you guys for watching. Again, you can like the video, comment this video, or share this video, and you are automatically entered for a chance to win tomorrow. We'll have a new comment, a new question for you as well. Thank you to Weiss Markets for being the title sponsor. Be sure to go there for all your holiday prep for whatever you may need to help enjoy the Christmas season. And thank you to NorthcentralPa.com. Be sure to go there for all of your local news.
That's it. See you tomorrow.
That's all we got. I'm Jeff Everett. He's Mark Messina. Thanks for watching the Midday Show.
Later.